Coming up on Carolina Week, the debate over Silent Sam is ramping up again, and this time the faculty might be behind it. What's new and what's next?
Hurricane heartbreak. An emotional senior night at the Dean Dome before this weekend's Blue Blood matchup.
And an app for college students that can help you step up your fashion game and save money while doing it. All this and more, Carolina Week
starts right now.
From the UNC School of Media and Journalism, connecting Carolina's campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Could Silent Sam's days be numbered, or is it an empty threat? Good evening, I'm Anne-Marie Haggerty.
And I'm Donnie Holloway. An anonymous group of faculty members say it's time for Silent Sam to go. 17 unnamed senior faculty members at UNC sent a letter to Chancellor Folt demanding Silent Sam be taken down by tomorrow. They say if she won't do it, they will. Reporter Lex Juarez is live in front of Silent Sam with the latest. Lex?
Donnie, the anonymous group released a statement saying they would stand down for the moment because they believe Chancellor Folt is making moves to have the statue removed. But they say they'll jump right back into action if she doesn't. And this isn't the only time or the first time that the statue has been a controversy.
Yeah, we heard a tag.
Ago as people stormed Franklin Street during a protest. Since then, officers have been stationed at the statue around the clock to ensure it is not vandalized or torn down. The anonymous group said that they need to remove the statue to, quote, fulfill their responsibilities as faculty at Carolina. Then last night, they tweeted this statement saying they would back down because Chancellor Folt was going to request an urgent ruling on relocating the statue. I reached out to the university, and the spokesperson told me that they do not know who is behind these statements, and they have not been in communication with the group.
I've also reached out to the police to see if there was any extra measures the department was taking, but I haven't heard back. We'll be following the story and updating you online. Donnie?
All right, some new developments there. Lex Juarez live from North Campus. Thanks, Lex. And the Daily Tar Heel is reporting that it has confirmed the anonymous faculty group is real after meeting with one of its members.
Another controversial issue on campus is diversity, particularly the lack of black male students on campus. Out of more than 4,000 incoming students each year, only about 100 of them are black males. As reporter Dario Malave shows us, it's a problem the university says it's trying to fix.
Timothy Jones is a master's student at UNC School of Media and Journalism. He says that the academics here are strong, but that diversity needs work.
I'm a journalism student, and I just don't see a whole bunch of students who look like me, which is just not good enough.
Jones says he thinks that the lack of black students on campus could be one reason they might not come to UNC.
Just because there's so few got people who look like you, that you might feel like you're just, not a part of the campus and you're just not well represented. You just feel, out of place.
This is Christopher Faison, and he's been focusing on getting more black men to come to Carolina as a coordinator for the UNC Men of Color engagement for 5 years now. He says that some of the problems start during high school and then extend through college age.
Some of the reasons are national. Male boys graduate high school in 4 years. Another issue is also the school to prison pipeline, where a lot of black men that are college age are often caught up in the justice system.
The numbers show this struggle. In 2015, out of 4,076 students who enrolled, only 91 were black men. Faison and his staff are trying to fix the issue by first working toward retaining the black men who enroll. Jones says that the university should take it a step further and reach out to predominantly black high schools and communities.
Be proactive and go into those communities and say, we are an elite program and we want you here.
While Carolina hasn't done that, Jones says he's still optimistic.
I think, if we work harder, we can get there for sure.
Jones says he looks forward to seeing more students of color in the classroom. In Chapel Hill, I'm Dario Malave, Carolina Week.
In addition to enrolling more black male students, the university says it also needs to work on keeping students here. The graduation rate for black males at UNC is about 20% lower than the overall graduation rate.
Today is the last day of Black History Month, and in our Black History Month Spotlight, we take a look at the first Black faculty member at UNC. Hortense McClendon came to Carolina in 1966 as a professor in the School of Social Work. She attended Howard University and earned a master's degree in social work at the University of Pennsylvania. McClendon has been honored by the university for her contributions and work as a pioneer. She worked at UNC for nearly 20 years.
UNC's financial aid office is making some changes after several students voiced their concerns about the lack of help for Spanish-speaking families. The office is now looking to hire its first counselor who is fluent in Spanish. The university created the position after the Student Advisory Committee brought the issue to the attention of the chancellor. More than 2,000 students at UNC currently identify as Hispanic. Some say they've struggled with handling the financial aid paperwork on their own. While the financial aid office has tuned the new counselors that have fluency in other language, this is the first time fluency is being required for the position.
For the first time in more than 60 years, UNC is updating its attendance policy. Starting this fall, it'll be easier for students to request excused absences. Some UNC professors complained about the inconsistency in how they were getting excused absence requests and what qualified as an excused absence. The new policy includes the creation of the university-approved absence office. Now, students can directly communicate with the office, who will then communicate with instructors.
Players from more than 20 Division I men's basketball programs, including North Carolina, Duke, and NC State, have been identified as possibly breaking NCAA rules through violations uncovered by the FBI's investigation into college basketball. Documents obtained by Yahoo Sports detail the work of former NBA agent Andy Miller and his agency ASM Sports. Christian Dawkins, a former employee of NBA agent Miller, filed expense reports claiming that at least 6 players received payments exceeding $10,000. One of those 6 is Dallas Mavericks point guard and former NC State starter Dennis Smith Jr., who received more than $73,000 in loans from ASM before playing at NC State in 2016. The document also shows former Tar Heel players Tony Bradley, Bryce Johnson, and current Duke player Wendell Carter all having meals with Dawkins. Now, some good news for Carolina. According to the NCAA rules, any benefit costing less than $200 can be repaid to a charity of the athlete's choosing, and that athlete will be deemed ineligible. They will not be deemed ineligible. So if Bradley and Johnson do that, the NCAA will not bring down UNC's 2017 banner because of this report.
While the outcome of the UNC Duke game on Saturday night will have major ACC ramifications, it will also have an impact on 2 campus hotels. The JB Hotel, located on Duke's campus, has issued a challenge to the Carolina Inn here at UNC. The challenge says the hotel of the losing team, wonder who that'll be, will donate food and supplies to the food bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina. The losing hotel will also have to share a congratulatory message to the winning team on social media for a week.
Sign language has become a crucial way to communicate with people who are deaf or hard of hearing, and more than 10% of American adults 18 or older report trouble with hearing.
UNC is now officially the home to an American Sign Language Club. Reporter Hampton Crumpler has the story.
Natalie Geddes is a freshman on campus. She spends many of her days studying out in Battle Park and organizing meetings for the brand new American Sign Language organization on campus. She says sign language has been part of her life for a very long time.
I was born with a developmental coordination disorder called dyspraxia, which affects mainly my speech, but also my motor skills. And so I didn't really talk until I was 5.
When Geddes was only a couple years old, she began to pick up sign language to help her communicate with family and friends. Her upbringing with sign language sparked her interest in it and led her to pursue it further when she was older.
So I slowly have learned just tiny bits of ASL, and I was wanting to do an ASL club at UNC.
In order to help students learn sign language at UNC, Geddes teamed up with some people on social media and began to form an ASL group on campus. Other schools like the University of Iowa already have ASL groups on campus, and more schools are following suit. Studies show that 15% of American adults age 18 and older report trouble hearing. Over at the Campus Y, Alex Jose Ramirez says he will be attending ASL meetings because he has a personal obligation to learn sign language.
Something that I really was driven for was that my little cousin, he is hard of hearing and uses hearing aids. And as he gets older, his hearing starts becoming a little worse and worse. And so I believe that in the future, he might be completely deaf or use hearing aids. And I want to be able to communicate with them in sign language.
It's just a really fun organization where you can meet all sorts of different people, and people of all different levels are in that club. We have some kids who have hearing loss and some kids who are partially deaf, and we have some kids that have never met anyone who knows any ASL in their life, and they don't know any.
The ASL group on campus is already starting to impact many students and is creating a community that is welcoming to everyone, regardless of their ability to hear. In Chapel Hill, Hampton Crumpler, Carolina Week.
The ASL group on campus will start meeting on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. for anyone who would like to start learning sign language.
I thought to myself, wow, I hope this never ever happens to anybody else.
Raising awareness about eating disorders, how they're affecting campus, and what to do about it. That's up next.
It's me, Artie. Come see what I collected from the Creative Galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Each one of our journeys keeps us young. Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
think outside the box.
We'll never get older. Each one Go be amazing!
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
30 million Americans suffer from an eating disorder, and the most common age to develop an eating disorder is between 12 and 25. Reporter Allie Yates sat down with a student who tells us about her personal battle to overcome.
It was terrifying, and that was kind of the moment the switch flipped inside me, and I didn't want to live like that anymore.
UNC junior Rosa Hanna was admitted here at the Neurosciences Hospital for an eating disorder second semester of her freshman year. She says this experience led her to Embody, a student organization through the Center of Excellence for Eating Disorders to educate students and increase awareness.
A lot of people don't talk about it because there's this stigma surrounding any mental illness, really, and eating disorders are mental illnesses.
Embody members are tabling every day this week with information for National Eating Disorders Awareness Week. Psychologist Christine Peet says educating students is an important step in overcoming the stigma associated with eating disorders.
There are so many myths, and people think that people just choose to have an eating disorder or it's for vanity purposes. We have to recognize that these aren't choices, that this is something that is a serious biologically based illness.
Efforts to increase body positivity on campus have included CAPS representatives speaking to organizations and a screening of the documentary Fatitude.
We try and preach this idea of body diversity, body acceptance, and that everybody's body is a bikini body. As soon as you put on a bikini, you have a bikini body.
Campus Rec is also recognizing NEDA Week with events like Mirrorless Monday and body positivity-based classes.
When people walk into the Student Recreation Center or Rams Head Recreation Center, the studios, and they can't see themselves in the mirrors, they're going to be like, what the heck is going on? And then that's a great opportunity for us to talk about it.
Hannah says eating in public and seeing her true reflection in the mirror are just a few aspects of her life recovery has given back to her.
I can honestly 100% say that my worst day today is 10,000 times better than my best day in my eating disorder phase.
Hannah says she hopes to help as many people as possible through her involvement with Embody. In Chapel Hill, I'm Allie Yates, Carolina Week.
If you think you or a friend may be showing troubling signs of an eating disorder, you can find screening tools and resources to help on the National Eating Disorders Association website.
After this year's flu outbreak, the FDA says they're already starting to prepare for next year's flu season. The 2018 flu season has set record highs in North Carolina and across the country. In this state alone, there have been more than 200 deaths and over 1,300 reported cases. Because of these large numbers, the FDA wants to create a stronger vaccine for next year. But for now, the agency predicts the 2018 flu season will last through May and encourages people to continue getting vaccinated. If you're a student who has not yet gotten your flu shot, it's not too late. You can still get your flu vaccine at the CVS and Walgreens in Chapel Hill or at the campus health and student stores on campus.
Since coming back to campus last month, parts of Stadium Drive, one of the busiest roads on campus, have been completely closed off, but that is expected to change tomorrow. Pedestrians, bus riders, and drivers have had to wait a little bit longer than expected for Stadium Drive to open after a delay on the project was announced the second week of February. Associate Athletic Director Mike Bunting confirmed that the construction has been delayed because of the snow, but it should be back on track to reopen the road on the 1st of March. This is all for the Central Campus Athletic Project, a $60 million revamp of several athletic facilities.
One of those facilities is Kenan Stadium. UNC Athletics felt Kenan needed a bit of a facelift, so construction had begun placing the bleachers on individual seats. Here's what things looked like at the beginning of the year. In order to pay for the new seats, the athletic department is adding a $6 fee for every home ticket sold. The one section that will remain unchanged, however, is the student section. Senior Associate Athletic Director Rick Steinbacher says the decision to keep the section as is was basically a numbers game.
We want to get as many students as we can possibly get into the student section, and students don't sit anyway. In fact, most of them prefer to stand the entire game. Many of them prefer to stand up on top of the metal bleachers. So it was making sure that we get as many students in those sections as we possibly can, and just the simple fact that students don't sit during the game.
The project is expected to be completed before Carolina's first home football game on September 15th.
And I'm Alex here in the Weather Center, tracking a few showers and thunderstorms, some light rain moving through the area right now. I have how long to expect this. Let's take a look outside. I've got what to expect coming up after the break.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television. They haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles. What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. A couple of headlines to talk about. It is currently raining off and on outside right now. So overcast and cool right now, a little more seasonable than we've been experiencing over the past few weeks. The rain's possible through tomorrow, and then what we get for waiting is a seasonable but clear and dry weekend coming up. If we take a look ahead at the surface map here, you can see there's a warm front to our southwest that's moving through, causing a couple of these light showers, but the heavier stuff will move in with this cold front as it moves east from the Central Plains. Take a look at the GOES satellite right now, and you can see these are the high clouds moving through. This is what's given us overcast skies for the entire day, but behind that you can see there's this fire hose of moisture that's moving in, and this is what's going to bring us the heavier rain as we go into the overnight hours. The chances of rain tomorrow is pretty much 100%. Currently 57 degrees outside with cloudy skies and light winds. Tonight we'll drop into the low 50s, 51 for the low. We'll keep those partly cloudy skies, and it will rain tonight. Our chance of rain is near 100%, and we'll keep those light winds as well. Our temperature forecast here, this is today, we're in the mid-50s. Tomorrow will be a little bit warmer as that warm front approaches in, but you can see back behind here, this is where that cold front center station tomorrow, and once that moves in, our temperatures are going to drop once our skies clear out a little bit. So once we get into Friday, we're a little more seasonable than we've been for the past few weeks, in the low 50s. Same for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but no rain in the forecast after tomorrow. If we take a look at the surface map for tomorrow, you can see that cold front will be upon us, bringing us the biggest chance of rain out of the system. But behind that, nothing but clear skies back here as some high pressure moves in. Now, this is a little bit of cold air coming down from Canada, so we will be in the 50s as opposed to the 70s and 80s like we were last week, but it'll be beautiful, so you don't want to miss that. On your way out the door tomorrow, 8 a.m., 54 degrees with cloudy skies. Rain throughout the day as well. By noon, we'll be up to 64, and then by 3, 65, near a high of around 66 degrees. And then for the basketball game this weekend, this time it's at Duke, but tip-off 44 degrees, and Carolina Victory 43, a clear night to be had, so dress warm and go enjoy it and cheer our team on. And for your 5-day forecast, you can see that tomorrow is that big chance of rain, but the clouds clear as we go into Friday with a beautiful weekend coming up. A little chillier than normal, and our lows are back in the 30s. So as I said last week, winter's not quite over yet.
Yeah, it's not.
Not quite, but a sunny weekend ahead. That looks great. Thanks
Absolutely.
so much,
We're really
Alex.
excited about that.
Yeah, thanks.
It was senior night at the Dean Dome on Tuesday.
Unfortunately, the Canes were ready to bring the pain.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. What? Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday. And I love tacos.
Connor is struggling in school.
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Abby Presley. The women's basketball team was in action earlier today in the first round of the ACC tournament against Boston College. The Heels snapped their 9-game losing streak as they topped the Eagles 69-64. Janelle Bailey showed why she was voted ACC Freshman of the Year with a strong double-double of 16 points and 13 rebounds. Paris Key led all the scores with 28, going 12 of 22 from the field and 4 of 5 from three-point land. Carolina will return to Greensboro tomorrow to take on 5th-seeded NC State. And on the men's side, the men's basketball team celebrated senior night on Tuesday as the Heels took on the Miami Hurricanes. Joel Berry, Theo Pinson, Aaron Rollman, and Kane Maub were honored for their contributions to the program. But once the game started, Miami quickly dampened the mood. The Hurricanes shot almost 55% from the field and 50% from three-point land. Carolina got sloppy with the ball, and early in the second half, the Canes had a 16-point lead. Guard Chris Sykes was a star for Miami. Check out as he steals the inbounds pass and drains the three, but Carolina fought back. Joel Berry was not about to get blown out on his senior night. Give me all 3 of these. Down 3 in the waning seconds. Berry pulls up and splash. His wild three-pointer ties the game, but here comes Miami. The Canes inbound it quickly, and Jaquan Newton nails this heave from just inside half court. Did someone call Chris Jenkins? Newton's heroics gave the Canes a stunning 91-88 win, but the night wasn't done. The seniors took the court one last time to give their speeches.
For some reason, I don't know why people love to hit game winners on us like that. And when Coach called me, it changed my whole entire life. And I knew once he gave me that scholarship, I was coming here.
Daddy, we had a conversation last year.
And I told you I just want to make you proud, and I hope I've done that.
It's almost like that you can't say Joel and you can't say Theo. You say Joel and Theo. It really ticks Theo off too, because I don't say Theo and Joel.
With the loss, the team's ACC tournament seat is still up in the air. UNC still sits in third place and in double bye position, but several teams are breathing down the heels' necks. Clemson sits just half a game back of Carolina in fourth. However, Carolina does claim a tiebreaker against the Tigers by virtue of the Heels' win against Duke, which beat Clemson earlier this season. But NC State, Miami, and Virginia Tech also all sit within a game of the Heels. The Hurricanes and Hokies both hold a tiebreaker against Carolina with their head-to-head wins. With a win Saturday in Durham, Carolina clinches the double bye, but a loss makes things very complicated. If Carolina loses to Duke, the Heels would still get the number 4 seed if Clemson and State both lose twice. With 2 State wins and 2 Clemson losses, Carolina would be number 5 and lose the double bye. If Clemson and State win out, Carolina falls to number 6. 1 State win, 1 Clemson win, and Miami beating Virginia Tech this weekend would also relegate UNC to number 6. Carolina can't fall lower than that position.
All right, wish we had more time to chat with you, but thanks so much, Abby.
Thanks, Abby. So, repeating outfits is a major fashion don't.
How an app designed by students could help you avoid a fashion disaster. That's on the other side of the break.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. It's Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Going Greek is a serious time commitment for students with cocktails, philanthropy events, and formals. Those social calendars can fill up pretty quickly.
They sure do, but finding the right things to wear might have just gotten a little bit easier. Brianna Nguyen has the scoop.
Greek life at UNC requires girls to have several dresses for events throughout the semester. For Killian Casson, buying a new dress each weekend was really making a dent in her bank account.
Formals and cocktails, so it's kind of hard to find a dress every weekend and still keep it within the budget and pay for rent and food.
But then she found Curtsy, an online dress rental app. Here's how it works. You take a picture of the dress and post it on the app. The app will automatically set a price for the dress and organize it by brand and color. Users are then able to search for specific dresses and contact the dress owner for an in-person delivery. Curtsy employees Bree Wells and Emily Holler set Curtsy apart from the other dress buying apps.
Probably the most obvious difference is this is a lot more affordable, especially for college students. It's geared towards college students.
Especially colleges with the large Greek community.
Greek life definitely is prevalent here, but not as heavily emphasized as like at Auburn or Alabama or Ole Miss. So I think that is kind of like the difference between the usage.
Yeah. Many users have experienced concerns about their dresses being damaged.
But sometimes it's hard to let other people rent your dresses because you don't know if it'll come back in a worse condition than the way that you gave it to the person renting it.
Curtsy coverage allows users up to $1,000 in dress repairs. Casson hasn't had an issue with the dress damages.
I'm really excited that I get to wear all these cute new dresses for these spring formals coming up. It's like my favorite part of the year and I just can't wait.
Holler and Wells expect an increase in users with the upcoming Greek formal season. In Chapel Hill, I'm Brianna Nguyen, Carolina Week.
And you can download the app for free on any mobile device. I've actually got my phone here
Look
at
at
the
you.
App Store, so we can download.
Yeah, maybe we can use it to coordinate our outfit for next week.
That sounds great. For this week, thanks so much for joining us.
Have a good night.